Well, welcome to Joellen's Kitchen. Today we're really just going to check in on a project that we started a little over 3 weeks ago. I put a head of cabbage into a bucket of water and immersed it with 3 tablespoons of salt in the center after it was cored. And I ended up adding a plate on top of that and a jar with some, I don't even know what was in it anymore, but something on top to weight it down so that the cabbage would stay immersed in the saltwater brine. And this is supposed to make us some sauerkraut. I also added a tablespoon of vinegar just to make sure that we didn't have any unwanted growth in there. So we're going to check on our sauerkraut today. It's over there in that bucket right there behind me at the sink. So we're going to pour it into a strainer and see what we got. Now I didn't cut it ahead of time into 1/2-inch wide pieces, so we may either have to cut it or shred it with forks. We'll see. First time I'm doing this, so just an old Pennsylvania Dutch tradition that I was of the age where I could just go buy sauerkraut and didn't have to make it. But this is how my grandparents did it, and we're going to see how it turned out. Thank you for joining me. As you can see, my garden's also been producing. I've got tomatoes and zucchini, and we've had broccoli and cauliflower. I didn't plant any cabbage, unfortunately, but we'll see how this project works maybe next year. Thank you. We're going to pull the lid off the bucket. Well, there's my weight. There were peppers in it, that's what it was. I couldn't remember. And there's my plate. Alrighty. And here's my cabbage. A little browning to it, but none the worse. So we're going to drain this for a few minutes and then cut it on the cutting board to make our cabbage sauerkraut. Okay, here's my cabbage, and it's been in brine water with salt for 3 weeks. So I'm going to try and cut it into 1/2-inch strips, and then we'll cut it again across the other way. Now some people do the cutting in advance and put it in that way. And I've also heard that some people learned a way to put it right into canning jars. But truthfully, this would keep in the salt brine for up to a year. Again, just add a tablespoon of vinegar to keep any mold from growing on it. So I'm going to cut it into strips. I'm obviously not going to be able to eat all of this in one sitting, so I'm going to put some of it into containers to either refrigerate and or freeze. I just think that that would be good for me. Other people may decide to do different things. That's a nice container of sauerkraut. And I think we'll make hot dogs and sauerkraut for lunch. I think that would be a nice lunch today. Okay, this sauerkraut's going to go into a pot with some hot dogs for lunch, and this container is going to go in the freezer so that I can make it another time.